Hello, family. Darlene A. Anderson here, entrepreneur, personal and professional development consultant, author, and your social media friend. I am going to take you all into a video I did almost a year to date, last December of 2022. I did this video for my Facebook Live family titled Shout It Out, and I want to share it with my YouTube family. I hope you all enjoy it. And hey, if there's something you want to shout out, please put it in the comments. Be well, fam. This is Darlene A. Anderson, your Facebook friend, Jesus lover, entrepreneur, author, personal and professional consultant. So I want to dive into a little testimony. I wanted to share some conversations I had with some of my peers, my mentors and professors. I was like, wow, I really have to come out here and talk about this a little bit. So I am out here to do just that. A little housekeeping. I want to thank you all for your love and your well wishes from my mom. For me and this transition in my life, we are progressing. God is good. I'll give you guys updates accordingly, but just thank you so very much. As I said in a prior video, it's a beautiful thing when people say that they're going to pray and do pray. I said, I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I'm like, I'll pray for you. And then a couple of days later, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to pray. Oh my God, Jesus. And it happens. But even if you, in that moment, just your acknowledgement was more than enough. If you found time to get on your knees in your prayer closet, whatever you did, and really just come to Jesus and ask for the blessings upon my life and my family, I appreciate you so very much. And it's this day and time when two or more are gathered, it's a beautiful thing. So thank you so very much for your acknowledgement. Okay, so previously I titled it Imposter Syndrome, and I was like, I really didn't get into all the criterions that I wanted to on that. I said, we're going to just come back out and just speak to the heart of it, because it's not about, I'm not a clinician. I'm not diagnosing myself or anybody else for that matter. It's just really acknowledging that there are times in life where I play small, and maybe you have too, for the benefit of somebody else. And in this season, God is really calling us to play big, no matter who it offends. If you're offended, that's your business. It's not mine. And it took some time for me to understand that in different aspects of my life, in different seasons of my life, that it's really not about me and my insecurities. It's more so their insecurities that they're projecting on me. All right, so we're going to speak to that a little bit on today. I was telling a story previously about when I first had gone to school. So as many of you know, if you've been following me, I was in two different programs. One day I got up and said, I love Jesus. I'm going to jump into this divinity program. And I learned really quickly, you cannot go to school just because you have a passion, especially a master's program. You got to have your stuff together. But I did learn a lot in the program for that semester. Took a lot from it as it relates to Christianity and also doing work in the marketplace and how you can bring those two things together. Sometimes, and we're different types of Christians, and it's fine, but you might get your older Christians or your Christians that are really not about being in the world doing certain things for the glory of God still, and they might say that you can't bring both together. You can't bring the discipline of Christianity into the marketplace. It just doesn't go. And it does, because the marketplace is where God's people are. Jesus did work in the marketplace. So if Jesus can go into the marketplace, into the community and do work like in businesses or in just in the community, in the trenches, in the ghetto, why can't we, right? And do it with discipline. So I'm in my master's program for divinity, and I have put my profile up. My professional autobiography was a part of my profile. And I remember being amongst my peers in the class, and this gentleman stated to me, he looks at me, we're talking about profiles and different things that we've done in the world. And I guess he had looked at my entire profile and just really came to class. Like, he was just gunning for me this day. So he looks at me and he goes, all of that has nothing to do with Jesus. And I'm paraphrasing it, but this was the gist of it. He's like, how does all of those work have anything to do with God and who you do, what you do in life and all your accomplishments? That has nothing to do with God. And I'm like, well, first of all, is he talking to me? It's like he just came for me. And he goes ranting on and on about Jesus and coming naked and all of this stuff. And it made me feel really insecure, like I did something wrong, like I wasn't supposed to share what I had done, my professional profile. So fast forward, I was speaking to my professor now. I'm in a master's program, and I love my professor. I'm keeping her in prayer. She is right now a professor, but I'm always calling her doctor. So we want to lift her up in prayer that she goes on ahead and does her PhD or whatever she decides to do. Doctorate, PhD, we're just receiving that for her, right? So I'm speaking to her about it, and I said, well, this time around, I'm not going to do a profile, because I don't want anyone to think that I'm showboating or just really out here trying to get leads or people or whatever. I'm not going to just do my profile. I'm just going to come to class and then that's it. And she says, Darlene, like, why would you not share what you do? You being in school is not just for academics. You're here to use those gifts and talents that God has placed upon you to help your classmates, to help your teachers, to help their families. It could be somebody that's going through something, and you as their peer has the answer for their family. You have to talk about what you do. You have to do your profile. And I sat and I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I do. But it was the end of the semester now. So a whole semester had gone by, and nobody knew about the fact that, I work for the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities as a contractor. No one knew that I was an author. No one knew that I had resources in New York in various areas, that I was a coach. Like, nobody knew any of these things because I didn't share it. And the reason why I didn't share it is because I was afraid that people would feel like I was boasting and bragging. And shame on me. Shame on me, because what happened was, as she further said, that person placed his insecurities on you. You allow all of his insecurities, as he read your bio and got whatever he got from it, whatever resonated in his spirit, he dumped that on you, and you allowed that to happen. And because of that, you are not standing in your mission and helping other people in the world the way God has placed you here to help people. And she was 100% right. And I was mad. I thought about it. I was like, I'm going to put my bio on everything. I don't care who gets offended. And it just really had me to think about other aspects in life when we play small for other people. Like, how are you showing up in the world? Are you showing up as the giant that you are, as a person that God has created you to be, as a smart, intelligent person, as a person that knows things, as a person that's like fluent in reading, as a person that's like fluent in other languages? Like, how are you showing up in the world? Are you showing up small or big? That's what it really boils down to. And for who and at what cost? So if we are at a place where we feel like we can't show our talents and our gifts because it will offend someone, then you might as well not even get up and come out your house every day. You just stay home. just stay home and think about what you want to do tomorrow. Because in this season, God is calling for us to show up and show out the way He has registered it in our spirits for us to pour it out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said to me the other day, an amazing woman of God that I love, and she doesn't curse, and I laugh at her sometimes because the way she finds words, she reminds me of my grandma. She said, Darlene, if these heathens are showing up in the world, right, that's a grandma word for you. If these heathens are showing up in the world and they're doing whatever they want to do, and it's not for the glory of God, if they're on TV, if they're on the radio, if they're on media outlets just doing what they want to do, then why can't we show up and talk about the glory of God? If you've traveled the world, talk about it. If you are driving, if you got a 4.100, whatever it is the case, talk about it. If you're paying your bills on time, there is nothing to be shameful about. Now, some things, and my pastor said this, some people can't handle your blessings. So you do have to be mindful of that, of who you are talking about your blessings to. And it's not for you, it's for them. So in certain arenas, if you know that it's not, nothing's going to come out of it. If God is calling you to just keep your mouth shut because that person doesn't need to know, that's different. But if you're in an atmosphere and God's like, shout it out, then you going ahead and you shout it out. Know who you are and stand in it. So that's just pretty much something that I've come to learn, that I just wanted to come out here and share with you guys. And don't let people project their stuff on you. For my childhood growing up, a lot of time was spent with a lot of insecurities that wasn't about me. It was about the other person. And this person loved me tremendously. And I don't fault them, but they really put in my psyche a lot of things that, again, wasn't about me. I am beautiful. I am a woman of God. Rather, I am size 2, size 12, size 14. We are all beautiful. And it took me a long time to get to that place and understand how the enemy will use other people to kind of like put God's children off track. And we can't allow that to happen in this season either. Lucina Clark, who I love, she runs around here all the time. She has her book, her podcast, everything. Diva, diva, diva. I love her. And I was chatting with her the other day. And I said, you know what? And I've never said this before. I was like, I am a diva. I am smart. I do know things. Like, yeah, just shout it out. Whatever it is. Women, this is not limited to just women. This is guys as well. It's a lot of guys out here that are doing positive things in life, and they're showing up, and they are good fathers, and they are good providers, and they do hold jobs, and they are educated, and they do have college degrees. They do have trade certificates, all of these amazing things. And guys sometimes don't even get acknowledged for these things. But you know what, brothers? Shout yourself out too. It's the day and age. 2023 is about holding your chest out and saying, this is who I am, and I am a child of God. So on that note, I wish you all an amazing afternoon. God be with you. And it's an early weekend, but be safe and enjoy.